Wow, they're fucking cool.
What's up, everybody?
What's up, everybody?
How
What's
we
up,
doing?
Don?
How are you?
How you doing, buddy?
Great.
What a day. Don caught a huge trout. It was like this big.
How big?
The camera has 5 pounds, right?
It does, yeah, for sure.
Always does.
That means it was 1 pound, but it was still cool. We got Josh Truax cooking us up some pig shots. We have all the boys at the table. Me, Don, Matt, Corey, John, Josh.
All alumni of the show.
Oh,
alumni of the show.
For sure. And what are we drinking in our hands right now, guys? What is this, Don?
Same as always. Chris Blogger.
Chris Blogger New Trail, baby.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers, gentlemen. Cheers. To New Trail.
So good.
That's such a good beer.
It really is.
Like you take any other, lager or light or anything, it's like in the middle. It's so good.
I mean, it's beer made for people who like light beer, but it's made at a craft brewery with care, with real grains and other ingredients. So it comes out just tasting a little bit better.
So good.
It's crisp.
It's crisp, baby.
Damn good.
So we're all gonna take a toast to Corey's honey hot venison real quick. Let's grab a piece of this. And I gotta tell you something, Corey. Now, I've had it already. This is pretty good stuff. Like it's sweet, it's hot, but it's not too sweet, not too hot.
Yeah.
It doesn't taste like venison. Good stuff.
That is.
How do you do this,
That one's got more of a kick.
How do you do this? You put the honey in there when you're mixing up the meat, or?
Yeah, so you double grind it. Then we poured the honey in. Actually, we grind it once, and then the second time we put the honey in to grind it through.
Nice.
But then when you're done, you add the cheese. The high temp cheese goes in it, in the seasoning. And you mix it all together real well, and then you put it in a stuffer. Stuff it into the casings. Smoke it for 6 hours. Then you boil it to 155 degrees. And we hit like 160 usually. You pull it out, you throw it in water and shock it, and poke some holes in it to let the water drain out, and there you have it.
Mm-hmm. So I got to tell you,
It
like
works.
a lot of us didn't understand the definition or how there was a high temp cheese or why the cheese was high temp. And like you could cook it and it wouldn't melt, right?
Right.
Like even Parmesan cheese, if you cook Parmesan cheese, if you put that in a microwave,
Well, eventually.
it doesn't melt, but it gets hard and it solidifies together, right? Which is
Right.
melting essentially,
Yeah,
right?
more or less.
Like, I would call that a high temp cheese, but like this stuff is high temp and it's still real moist and soft.
Yeah.
Do they add polymer in it or something? I don't know.
We use Thompson's seasoning in there. It's not our own special seasoning, but I'm not really sure.
Yeah.
It's not how they do the
It's
cheese.
pretty wild. Pretty
Just
wild.
Comes in a bag. You go and buy high temp cheese.
We're gonna have to do it.
Yeah.
So Josh,
Stolpus.
Yes, Anthony.
so we have these what are they? Pig shots.
Pig shots. Yes, pig shots.
And pig shots, do they have cheese in them?
yes, they do.
Is it high temp cheese?
No, it is not.
Ah,
Definitely.
damn.
And typically it would be pepper jack. That somehow disappeared in the last couple of days. So it would be Colby today.
Awesome.
We have the old Colby jack.
What
So I
else?
wonder
They
if
look tasty.
if we use high temp cheese in the pig shots, what it would be like, you know?
I don't know. We could always try it.
All right. So
You know.
walk us through this.
So this is actually a little different than I would normally do. This is a slice of chorizo, about 3/8 of an inch thick, wrapped in bacon with the toothpick through it to make like a little shot glass.
Take your pick.
I
Guys. Choose your poison.
I mix cream cheese, diced jalapenos, the Colby Jack. Normally I would use pepper jack. Stuff that inside and I smoke it for a while. And then I make a maple bourbon glaze, which this time I used Maker's Mark. Typically it would be Knob Creek, but I didn't have any knob, and Anthony was gracious enough to donate me the Maker's Mark. I glazed them on and smoked them, like I said, and it's with the chorizo instead of andouille sausage.
Okay.
One of these times, I'm gonna do it with scallops. It's gonna happen because I think
Yeah,
it
it
would be
looks like a
awesome.
scallop, right?
It
You
does.
know what I
look
mean?
like a
Like I
scallop.
think the scallop on the bottom would just be
Oh
incredible.
my god.
And I love andouille.
Yeah, me too. And
But like, I can't wait to try this.
Yeah.
How is it on? Yo, Matt's shaking his head like, oh yeah, this stuff is good.
So good.
Mm. So listen,
That clogs an artery.
I think the cheese was a great fit.
that was damn good.
Cheese works great.
Yeah.
I'm
Mhm.
kind of glad this is the cheese that you were left with over the weekend.
Right? It works.
Mhm.
It totally works.
Wow. Holy cow. What a way to start the show.
Yeah.
Dude, that's amazing.
Thank you.
We need to have meats more often.
All right, let's just pair the cigar with that.
It'll probably work. I mean, it's got a lot of spice.
It does.
Good smoke character. Because how long was it on the smoke?
Oh, when did I start these?
12-ish.
No, I think they were on the smoker at 11, weren't they? I
Oh,
started
yeah,
prepping
yeah,
at 10.
You're right.
Started prepping at 10. They were on the smoker at 11.
Mhm.
I ran them really low and slow for a long time to get some flavor in them and to get the heat into the cream cheese and start to let it not necessarily melt, but it's just its thing. And then I cranked it up to try to get the glaze to set. You know what I mean?
And it
Turn it,
picks up.
make it real tacky.
Picks up really good
That's pretty
smoke
good.
character, probably because of how sticky it is too. But
Yeah.
Josh,
Even
these
the
are really
cheese.
good.
Thank you, gentlemen.
The last ones were really good too.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie. Josh can smoke some meat.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's been the joke of the weekend.
It has. But you always put my meat in your mouth, don't you?
never proves us wrong.
I was trying to be cool
I was
right now.
Josh just went, man.
And we're not gonna go with everywhere else we went this
Yeah.
weekend.
I just went from here to like here. Loving it.
So we had the dry fly bourbon, wheat bourbon, and you know, with the cigar that we tasted, which was what? Yeah, Deliverance. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah,
The white label, black label.
white label, black label, Deliverance,
Mm.
and it tasted like cotton, as everybody knows.
Oh, the textile mill. I
Oh,
forgot
yeah.
about
It
that.
was. I mean, I gotta tell you, I'm still on it. Like I tasted it. Maybe it's, I don't know. It is what it is. So tonight or today we have dry fly, wheat and rye.
Yeah. So
Don,
Triticale.
let's hear it.
I was talking about Matt yesterday. He's the one who introduced me to this brand, but this is a bottle of what he brought up last year. So this is Dry Fly's same 3-year-old straight whiskey, but this time made with Triticale instead of wheat. So Triticale is a bioengineered, man-made hybrid of wheat and rye. And it kind of has all of the benefits of both of those grains. So the flavor should be somewhere in the middle. And
Sweet.
this one also went to Tasting Panel magazine, but they gave the Triticale a 96 point. The wheat only pulled 91.
So the Triticale wheat rye blend is a 96.
96.
Seriously?
Yep. Almost perfect.
Huh.
For 3-year whiskey.
I think
This should
last
be
year-
interesting.
I think last year when I brought it down, we got here about 10:30 and it was gone by 11.
Yeah, we're
I
all
mean,
looking
there's-
around like, where'd
Yeah.
that bottle go?
There's six
I
of us
totally
around
believe
this
that.
table, so it's
Yeah.
gonna go down quick.
Yeah, the
Probably
bottle
gonna be one
yesterday.
pour in this bottle.
It was hurting pretty quickly.
So now today we're gonna do the cigar and bourbon review, and then we're gonna go live at the campfire, which we have rolling since what time? Who started that this morning?
Billy and I started that as soon as we got up, which was
9 o'clock,
9 o'clock.
10:30, 9 o'clock, whatever. And we have a lot of hot coals out there. We have some ribeye, some New York strip, some Wagyu New York strip, salmon, fireside, like we always do, which is the best.
Yeah, kielbasa, sausage. We got all kinds of stuff today.
There you go, buddy.
There you go.
Messed it up.
We're all good.
We're all good now.
We're
So we all know how this works. We're gonna smell this stuff. Wow,
Oh, man,
what a
that's
smell!
delightful.
So totally different from yesterday's, right?
Totally different.
Yeah.
Way different smell.
Oh yeah, because remember yesterday's, it just the nose went away after like 20 minutes. There was just nothing there.
Yeah, we'll see if it's persistent here, but
Yeah,
it's starting out stronger.
definitely not as sweet. It doesn't quite have that honey characteristic to it.
I'm gonna say this one's a lot more complex in the nose. I'm getting dried fruits, maybe a little bit of that tropical character that was really cool from that barrel that we had.
I smell plain white teas. Just a joke. Just a joke.
Wow.
Wow, what? Like, there's something in here.
Yeah.
I swear, like every
It's almost like a
bourbon
butterscotch.
manufacturer
Hey, you got a
adds a
Mayflower
little
head.
something. Do I?
Yep.
Pick
That's
it off.
perfect,
Let's
dude.
grab it. Show it.
Where is
Just
it?
Right
let it
there,
roll. It's
right
right
there.
here. It's like right there.
So there's a nice hatch coming around.
Thank you.
I mean,
Obviously here at
it's
Fish Camp.
Fishmas. It's Fishmas. You got to eat
Oh,
it.
yeah, you got a cast it. Stonefly.
Ah, nice
that
little
what it
stone
is?
fly here.
Looks a lot like what's on the bottle,
I thought
huh?
it was a
Yeah.
mayfly.
It does. Check it out.
Yeah. I thought you'd put it in there in the bottle. It'll be like the
You
worm.
like the worm?
Oh, yeah.
Should have done that. Should have done it. The next one goes. So I'm smelling a little bit of berry, Don, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Like some kind of berry.
Like dried berries. They're
Yeah.
they're like
Mhm.
they're pungent. Not too sweet.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, it really smells like berry though. It's crazy.
The first time I smelled it, I smelled barbecue sauce. And I realized I was too
Ah, it was
close
your
to my
fingers.
finger.
That's your upper lip.
Matt, what are you getting off of this?
It's tough to say. I want to say copper, but my senses might be off a little bit.
Interesting. Like,
Copper.
I mean, I can kind of smell that too. Yeah, a little bit.
That very well could be a characteristic of this grain. I mean, I sometimes get that from rye.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really smelling a berry. Berry.
Oh, there's
Aroma.
I
definitely
was
some
thinking
berry.
berry.
Yeah,
Mhm.
there's definitely some berry there.
Might be the first time we all agreed on something.
Mhm.
Yeah, that would be a first.
Let's get in there.
Let's do it.
Mm.
So spice up front, right?
The spice up front, the ethanol's on the back end. It's more towards the throat.
The wheat kind of opened up into a spice,
Mhm.
but didn't start that way. This one's starting out strong.
It's not a lot of body.
There's not a lot of body.
No, there is
Mm.
not. It's not as velvety as the wheat was.
Also a 90 proof, same as the
Oh,
wheat.
I was going to ask you that.
Interesting.
It's still a 90. I mean, it's
Wow.
still smooth.
So this had a 96 versus the 91
Yep.
with the other one.
Yep.
With the wheat.
I'm going to let it open up a minute.
It's
Yeah,
not what
I
I
do
remember.
believe.
I don't know about you.
It's almost identical to what I remember.
I don't really remember spice, but we were drinking it really, really early in the morning last year after a hangover. So maybe.
Ah, well, I mean, that changes things.
I don't know, I think it's kind of smooth.
The
Mhm.
second taste, second sip, have a lot of woodiness coming through. Have a lot of, like walnut or pecan almost,
Mhm.
like a sweeter, nutty flavor.
Sweeter, darker woods for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
All I can smell is like a butterscotch candy,
Mhm.
like a real strong. I know, scotch, sure.
I'm getting notes of like vanilla backwoods wafting down. I don't know if you're closer, if you're smelling it more, if it's changing for you, but
It's just
you don't even
Corey,
have one out.
It's just coming out of
No, I
your
know.
pores. It's just coming
off
out
of
of
you.
his pores at this point.
It's interesting.
It's an interesting drink, you know.
Yeah.
So this is definitely one that would not be for that beginner sipper,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like yesterday, that dry fly we had yesterday, the wheat was like totally smooth the whole time,
100%. Yeah, 100%.
totally consistent. This definitely has a little more
Mm,
peppery taste to it, but it's still 90 proof.
Yeah.
It's
still
contradicting itself. to be
Yeah, but it's
honest
still
with you.
easily drinkable though.
It is.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I
Yeah,
mean,
it
but
is.
it's
It
not
is.
it's not what that wheat was yesterday. It's not that. I mean,
Yesterday that went down just smooth, and it was you had the bite on your lips, and that was
yeah.
really it.
Yeah, see this, you feel more in the
This
back, like
I'm
towards your
getting it on my
throat.
tongue and my lips, but it's still smooth going down.
But you also were smoking backwoods honey yesterday when you were drinking.
Yes.
So like this is, yeah, it's a little.
And like Matt said, it doesn't have hardly any body. Not a lot of mouthfeel. It's playing on both sides of the fence.
And it's not one of those ones that like you feel it. You feel the fire coming back up.
You feel
Totally,
it in the beginning,
yeah,
then you
yeah.
feel it in the end, but you don't
Yeah,
feel
you
it.
feel
Yeah, in the middle.
You feel it going down, but it's not like
Mhm.
you're gonna light a match coming back up.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely very short. Doesn't stick with you at all.
Very interesting.
I like it.
I understand why we went through this really fast last year.
Yeah, I mean this one
Yeah.
for a bunch of guys who do love drinking whiskey, this one's just gonna fly down.
I'm starting to taste almost like a mapley type flavor to
It's
it.
probably from the big
As
shot.
well.
I was just gonna say
Probably
that.
from the big shot.
I mean, I don't
There's
think
a good
it
bit of
is.
maple syrup in that.
I hear you,
Yeah, I
but
mean,
like
if there is some,
I'm 4 sips
There
down
could be.
now,
I know. I
you
am too, and I agree with you. I am getting some notes of
those
maple.
big shots are heavily mapled and really sweet. So I don't know if maybe that's covering some of the natural maple up.
It
And as you
could
go
be.
further,
It
maybe you'll
could,
get more
yeah.
and more.
Yeah, it could be, and then it's coming through.
Mhm. Well, what else you got with this?
So today, where are we here? Where'd they go? Mamma mia.
Stole them.
Yeah, because the wind was taking them, and I saved them for you. But now I'm the thief. Thanks.
So Josh, you and John might have to switch seats here,
That's not a problem.
I
We
think.
can do that.
But we have the Oliva Series G. And this was a pretty inexpensive cigar. They only had a real small size of it though. And this size, I don't even know what it was.
They're
to be
tiny.
honest
They're a
with
lot
you.
smaller
Yeah.
than the interesting ones you got.
So this cigar was only about $9 in Williamsport. Anywhere else in a big city, it would probably be 11, maybe. And then if they had, I don't even know if they make them in like a larger cigar, but if it was a larger cigar, I'd assume it'd be like $15, $16. And it's a pretty dark cigar. And you might even think that it's a Robusto, but it's not. It's supposed to be pretty mild.
Square, right? Square press.
It's a square press. I thought we were going to be drinking 120 proof today, but we dialed it back to a 90 proof, right?
By a third.
And yeah, back by a third, right?
I'm actually kind of happy about that.
Well, with that being said, I think this would have been a real good cigar to go with a 120 proof. But with this, now that we're tasting it, like we're gonna find out. We're
It
gonna
might
see.
stand up. It's
Yeah.
either going to stand up or you're just going to get harsh spice and nothing else.
So it smells pretty
Could
mild
be one or
too.
the other.
Yeah.
It definitely does.
Yeah.
It doesn't smell like it's gonna be a real harsh, flavorful cigar. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I still think this cigar would have gone great with the 120 that we had.
Mhm.
And we're not going to say the name because we're going to do it later.
Yeah,
But,
we'll do it later.
and now I got to find something different for that one.
Mhm.
Thank you, Don.
Yeah, no worries.
But it is the first weekend of trout,
Yes.
and we have to do the dry fly.
Oh yeah, without a doubt, we have to do the dry fly. And I really like doing it after their wheat yesterday, just because the memory of it is so fresh on my mind.
Serna, let me hit that up.
So Matt, I know we looked this up before. I don't know how much you remember about Triticale, but something that was developed in Scotland in the 70s. And I remember because was there a drought or something they were trying to overcome? I don't think they wanted to make whiskey out of it. I think they wanted to eat it.
Might have been.
I mean, somebody said it. There's a pork chop in every bottle. It's been said this weekend.
I'm trying to think who said it.
I wonder if
Yeah.
it's Don's older brother.
Uh-oh, we must be out of gas.
Out of gas.
Oh no! Oh no!
It's all right. I guess we're going to have to finish this whiskey first. All right, so right off the top, like high up out of the glass, is it like chocolate? Does anybody smell that?
All right,
It's like
go
a
ahead.
maple chocolate.
I'm getting a sweetness, maybe some chocolate, but I don't know if I'm getting a whole lot of maple out of it. Though I was just
Caramel?
chewing on my my toothpick from inside the big shot, so that could be ruining that for me.
Your smoked toothpick.
You know you like them, Don. You didn't argue.
It's really hard not to sit here and grab a couple more.
I'm
I'm
not
just
stopping
about
you.
to.
Yeah, but
I'm not stopping you.
Isn't that all you have?
Do you know how much food we have?
Yeah, I know, but you probably want to let everybody taste them.
No, I mean I do appreciate that. I'm thinking everybody does want some.
Yeah.
So I mean, how many are there? There's 11. There's 5 of us. It leaves 6.
If everybody has a half.
All right.
I love the way Sarno's
Hey.
thinking. Sarno, I love the way Sarno's
we,
thinking.
we can leave these couple crumbs there.
Here, you guys can lick the grape.
Yeah, there you go.
Anybody want to lick this grape?
Right?
I'll tell you about how good they were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here, smell my breath.
I mean, they're getting their 4 blocks of cream cheese they asked for. It's on right now.
Smell this burp.
So I had to go fill my butane lighter, and Corey's dad, Kenny, said that acid cured
He
cheeses,
just showed us. Yep.
those are the ones
Oh, the high temps.
that are high temps.
Interesting.
Has nothing to do with plastic or anything.
Acid cured though.
Acid.
What kind of acid though?
I mean, we could discuss that later.
We could, but well, I'm just genuinely interested at this point.
It is kind of interesting that cheese just doesn't melt
No,
away. You
yeah.
think it would just melt away.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sarno, what's that taste
Every
like?
time,
Sorry, go ahead, Don.
every time you cut that into this bologna, that cheese is like on the cusp of melting, right? Like in there.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's like
right.
right
It's
there.
not as
Yeah.
sweet as what I'm used to.
I'm gonna tell you this right now. The best time to eat it is right after it comes out. We pop them, and then you set a stick over there, and we all try each. We all make like 5 different flavors, and we all sit there and eat each other's bologna. And we're like, "Oh yeah, that was good. Oh, that's really good." You know.
No
But
doubt.
when it comes out when it's warm, you're like, "Oh,
No
it's
doubt.
so good."
No doubt.
Can we edit this so he doesn't say eat each other's?
Actually, that's going to go into the yearly highlights.
Yeah, right. That's what's gonna lead off the highlight reel.
So what are you tasting there, John?
Oh shit.
It's good. It's more spicy or bitter than I'm used to. You know.
Mm-hmm. It's definitely light, though.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
not a robust
for
cigar.
as dark as it looks, it's definitely light.
Yeah.
But it's still, it's still got that, what is it, robustness? Would you say?
It does.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Mine tastes like American honey. No, I'm just kidding.
That it would.
So I just slammed it after the bologna thing, and it turned into honey. It totally did.
Once you ate the bologna.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I like to put a little chunk of bologna in mine.
Stir it out a little bit.
Like a cocktail.
Yeah,
So I don't
just had the
think-
same thought, Corey.
There
the
you
exact same
go.
Little garnish.
I don't think
There you
the
go.
Series
Like a ribbon
G Olivia
Yeah.
is rated.
Okay.
I could
Solid,
be wrong,
sir.
Are you gonna be the first?
but I might be the first to rate this one. All right.
Ooh, that's weird because you can smell it while you're drinking. Sorry, guys.
I mean, so to me, and we are outside, and it's a bit windy, but I'm not getting a lot of character from that smoke. It seems really light.
It's very light, but I'll tell you, and it might be the bourbon coming into the whole flavor characteristic of it. I almost, when I inhale it, I'm tasting a little bit of coffee, and then after that, and I exhale, and it's very bitter. It really is. It's a bitter cigar at the end.
Yeah.
But when you first bring it in, when you first draw it, it's not that bad. It's windy again today, but this off the bat is not drawing that well, and it feels like a very nice kept cigar.
Mm-hmm.
It's not drawing that well.
Yep.
Yesterday was really windy. It was a lot windier than it is today. So just this short of a time in, and it's not burning well at all. And even if I was inside, I don't know. How's yours doing?
Not bad.
Yours seems to be good.
Seems like it's burning pretty good.
Okay. I've been doing a little more talking too.
Yeah, well,
So John, tell us what you think. Are you tasting the coffee when you first bring it in?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, very dark coffee.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally like espresso.
Mhm.
We need to throw some sambuca on.
And
this
I'm
or something.
catching yours coming down here, and I don't hate the secondhand smell of it. You know, it smells
Mhm.
good. It's, but definitely, more robust or bitter than
But as I'm getting into it now, though, too, and just not even a minute later, maybe a minute later, it's starting to like draw a little better now, right?
Okay. Yeah, John seems to be drawing better than yours, but
Mhm.
not the best.
Secondhand smoke of that isn't super strong.
no, it's not. It's rather light.
It's actually
Yeah.
it's a nice smoking cigar.
Yeah.
Now I gotta try it with the bourbon though.
Yeah, because like yesterday with the wind, and it was headed that way, I could still smell your cigar
Yeah.
the entire time. This one, not so much.
Like,
I mean, it still smells great, but I think I like the scent of yesterday's.
I
I
think
Damn,
it's
Don,
really good.
listen.
I don't even remember what that was.
I think it's really good with the bourbon.
The wind's going that way. But some of the secondhand that I've gotten, it was kind of like a pretzel shop smell. A little salty, a little bready.
Real
Oh,
yeasty,
there you go.
Some
And I was
mash.
gonna say,
Yeah.
like this whiskey, it smells like the inside of Wild Turkey. When Matt and I were down at Wild Turkey, this smells like their facility, which is a yeasty,
Mash, yeah.
active
Yeah.
whiskey smell.
That was a cool
Well,
facility.
here,
It was
now you can have wild turkey honey.
So as I'm smoking this cigar and drinking this dry fly, it brings me back to a creamy, like cereal, honey grain type flavor.
The Honey Nut Cheerio again.
I don't even want to say honey nut Cheerio, but it's pretty close. It's
Like
very
Honey
similar.
Grams.
Wait,
Yeah.
what's that?
Honey
Grams.
grams.
Honey Grams, yeah.
I mean, do you taste that too, John,
Mhm. Absolutely.
when you're smoking this?
Yeah.
I don't know if you
I
taste
think
it
it
too,
really,
Don, but
really
like
pairs well with this.
smoking it does pair pretty good with it. And it's starting to level off. Like maybe I just lit it a little off with the wind, and it's drawn real nice. It's smoking real even. This is a good cigar.
And honestly, it's making this a little less. You know what I mean? It's almost evening this out a little bit, if that makes sense to me.
And it may be opening up that way because, as I say, like the spice now for me is just a touch at the front. And
Yeah,
there's
yeah,
nothing through
it's-
the rest of the
it's
mouth.
not
definitely
as
calmed
This
down.
isn't intense after this. Now.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's just because it's open.
I was just gonna say that too. I'm not
No.
getting as much now.
Yeah.
It's like real tone.
Which is nice, and it's turning into that really crushable 90 proof. That
Yeah, I
we were
mean,
looking for.
We're gonna do this bottle in.
Wow.
Listen,
Anytime you refer to a whiskey as crushable,
if anybody on right
you are
now
3 days into
wants to
business.
throw us a comment, throw it up there. We're gonna read it. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna like have a little fun here today too. This is actually turning into a very good pairing.
Yeah.
Just like yesterday. Yesterday's pairing was great. I think I gave it 8.4.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, this one
Yep.
this one's up there with it, to be honest with you.
Mhm.
And dry fly, that might just have something to say about dry fly though, right?
Yep.
Like dry fly with the two cigars that we picked. They're both very similar though too. It's good.
I'm really happy with the brand. It's Washington State whiskey. It costs about 30. Do you remember $37
Yeah.
a bottle?
And that's awesome.
And it's 3 years old, so they're kind of pumping this stuff out. I do hope they get some older bottles on the shelves as they get older, but super impressed with the liquid they're able to put out in such a short amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
It does feel intentional that it's crushable though.
Mm-hmm.
True story. Good point, Matt.
But I would love to see this as like a 7 to 10 year. I'd really like to see what the notes turn into at that point.
Yeah, I mean, you get a lot of light. I was saying tropical at the top. We all pulled out a lot of like red berries,
Mm-hmm.
like a bright, sweet pop of fruit character. But yeah, you'll see that change as that dark wood gets more and more introduced.
Boy, for the price, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, that kind of a price, and then like both the one like yesterday's and today's, they're both awesome. That's very good. Can't beat that.
What do they call this, Don, again? Dry fly what?
Straight Triticale Whiskey.
Straight Triticale. It's pretty good.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
Yep.
We still have a couple more minutes. If we get a couple replies up there, we're going to shout out. Jill was here yesterday, 2 doors up.
Yep.
And a couple other people.
Mm-hmm.
Corey may have been one. He was watching us from inside, like whatever.
Rich stopped by to see us. Lots of cars going up and down the.
Yeah.
the
Rich
road
gave us the
yesterday.
hats and the plaque.
Yep.
That Beretta hat's pretty nice too. I
It's
gotta
very
tell you.
sweet.
Oh yeah, that's pretty
I
sweet.
don't understand like these things over here. What is that? What does that
We were trying to
represent?
talk about
It's
that.
Three
yeah,
arrows.
yeah.
3 arrows and 3 targets.
And I know I've read about it and why, but I honestly can't remember.
Yeah.
But Beretta doesn't make arrows, do
Beretta
they?
is an insanely old Italian company.
Maybe they used to.
Yeah.
They
Just
make-
crossbows.
They make great handguns.
Some of the best shotguns. Their
gonna
semi-auto
say,
shotguns are
before-
some of the best on the market.
Before they made pistols, they made the best shotguns in the world. They
Mhm.
still do.
Yeah.
And before that, they're so old. They were in older forms of
I was
projectiles.
gonna say their staple
Mhm.
is
Crossbows.
shotguns. I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yep.
but they must have been in arrows and
you
crossbows.
know. But like the 92 FS has been around forever.
Silver pigeon.
Yeah, which is a terrific
Interesting.
one. Which
Mhm.
yours is what? What Beretta do
Mine-
you have?
Yeah. 92.
Yeah, the 92, and that's a sweet unit, dude.
Yeah. Maybe there's a meaning behind the actual name Beretta, and that's why that symbol's on the way.
I think Beretta's their name.
I can't remember.
Like he said, Beretta maybe stands for like arrow or something.
Yeah, right.
I mean, that's a good question. What
Yeah.
does it? What does it mean in Italian?
Yeah.
Like we're both Italian. Do you know?
I know Hunter is Cacciatore, but
Cacciatore.
Arrow should be
Isn't that
close to
funny?
that.
The Italians based. Well, it was probably the Americans,
Oh, I'll tell
or
you.
the British
I have that
based
story.
the language or the definition Cacciatore off of hunting, right?
So chicken cacciatore means the
Roll it up.
hunter's
Got
chicken.
one up.
So they would
Yeah,
go
I
out,
feel like it's
they would hit a pigeon or little wild chicken or whatever it is, and then they would cook it in the woods. They would be able to pick
I was trying to wait till
tomatoes
they made it.
and basil, or they brought it with them, and they would do that on the fire. And
Actually,
that
you know
was
what I'm well-
chicken cacciatore.
I'm so embarrassed I didn't know that.
So
To be
my-
honest with you, Don.
My grandfather didn't cook if he didn't have to, because my grandmother was amazing at it. But the one thing my grandfather did better than anybody else was chicken cacciatore.
Wow.
That's his signature dish.
This is the highlight for this reel, just so you know.
Yeah,
It says
Sorry.
Beretta is a girl's name originally in Italian.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
What was the
Well,
girl named? What was she named after? I
they
mean, there's
will
got to be a
destroy
story
you,
about
just like
Beretta.
Maybe the owner's daughter or something.
Yeah, the middle for the.
So arrow in Italian is freccia, which has some sort of base in feathers.
Fletchings.
Right.
Fletchings.
Fletchings, yeah.
Yeah, but Beretta with the 3 arrows still doesn't line up for me.
We'll look it up.
It doesn't because you think.
Yeah.
In my head, I think shotgun immediately.
Right.
Yeah, with Beretta, you
Yeah.
always do. Or the 92 FS, like Don's.
Interesting.
All right, so listen, we're gonna wrap this up with the review.
Mhm.
We're gonna start with Matt on this one, and Matt with the bourbon. What are you giving this?
I'll give it a solid 7. It's
a
not.
solid 7.
It's it's not something that I would constantly be after, but on a day like today, it's a great sipper.
Interesting.
I agree.
No, I mean that's really interesting. I expected a little more from Matt, to be honest with you, but I'm wow, cool. Let's go over here to Corey.
I think 7.2 for me.
7.2.
I was 7.5 yesterday, but I think 7.2 with this one.
Yeah.
I
So yesterday's dry fly,
It-
being the same proof, as smooth as it was, it didn't have any complexity at all.
right.
And this one really doesn't have a lot of complexity either, right? Let's be honest about it. So you're going 7.2
It's hard to
today.
judge because I feel like they're both comparable in different ways. It just depends on what you like. But the longer I'm drinking it, I feel like I'm drinking like yesterday. It was
Clearly.
kinda-
Yeah,
the
yeah,
longer
yeah,
I'm,
yeah.
you know, a
you're
couple
getting
sips, it's the same.
acclimated to it.
Yeah, right.
So if anybody wants to comment there and ask us a question about today compared to yesterday, feel free to. Big John.
Yeah, probably a 7.5.
Big John needs a refill too.
Yeah,
I'm just
I was just gonna say, I think
looking
we're-
over there. You guys are looking a little light.
I'm gonna say a 7.5 for the bourbon, and a 6.5 for the cigar. But I think together they're a solid 8, because I definitely think that the bourbon makes the cigar better.
So you went into a 7.5 for the
Here.
bourbon
Mm-hmm.
and an 8 for the pairing.
Yes.
Wow. Yeah.
Got you
Josh.
thinking, didn't it? Got
There
you
it
thinking
is,
over
dude.
there.
There it is. Apparently, we like this bottle.
It's pretty good.
For me, as the nose is opened up,
Don't you want more?
No.
I definitely get the little bit of maple.
Unless you don't.
It's coming through.
No, I'm gonna drink it.
You got half.
It's bright, especially compared to yesterday. And I really did like that wheat of yesterday, even though I did give it a lower score. But for a newbie, for somebody that's just getting into whiskeys, that was a perfect whiskey yesterday.
That was a perfect.
And I rated
sip.
it high on that scale. That being said, this is a little spicier, which is good. I like the peppery nature of it. But it is just the same. It's not very complex, especially when it comes across your tongue. It's simple, though. I think the simplicity of yesterday, it was just so really well done for the few flavors it had. I would have to rate yesterday's higher than today's. I know y'all are in the 7s, and I would definitely drink this again, though I would not seek it out. If I was in a bar and I saw a few whiskeys on a wall, if I haven't drank it in a year, I would probably get it. Though, and I would not be disappointed with that fact. I honestly, I'm gonna go a 6.5. It's
Wow.
good, but that wheat yesterday was just way better done.
We keep reverting back to yesterday.
Well, but that's the freshest
but-
thing in my
but
mind.
that's also because they're both the same brand.
They are.
Yeah.
I wanted to kind of say that
yeah,
way.
yeah.
You know
They're
what
the
I mean? You
same
don't wanna-
brand. They're the same year. And typically, this is what I would like more than the wheat. But yesterday's wheat was good. Like, you get that little bit of honey, you get the little bit of sweetness out of it. We're not going to say Honey Nut Cheerio, but it's kind of there. It's just, in the end, for me, the one yesterday
So you got
was just better.
6.8
I'm going 6.5.
or 6.5.
I'm going to 6.5.
That thing,
So
yeah.
John, what'd you do the pairing on? 8. Is
Yeah.
that what you said? So yesterday, with the dry fly wheat, I gave it an 8.4 and a 7.8. Don gave the bourbon an 8, and Josh gave the bourbon a
7.5.
7.5.
Yeah, I did say.
And I'm gonna say the pairing actually is definitely better than just drinking this flat out. Like, there's no doubt. The pairing brings out a lot of flavor in the bourbon that I don't think all you guys are tasting, which is interesting.
That I can believe.
Like, it's bringing it out. And I'm not going as low as Josh on the bourbon.
But don't take that. Don't.
I think the bourbon. I think the bourbon has, me personally, with the wheat rye blend, has a little better character than that. It still doesn't have a lot of complexity to it.
And there's no body to it.
No.
Yesterday was so velvety. That was really nice.
It was a nice.
You know what I
one.
mean? It was just really.
It
nice.
was nice. So I'm gonna go a 7.3 on the bourbon, and I'm gonna do a 7-8 on the pairing because it's a really good pairing. It's not bad. Like this is one that everybody could go get the dry fly blend or what's it called? Tritical. Get dry fly Tritical, get the G series Olivia, and have a real good night with your friends on.
What do you rate
without
the
a doubt.
cigar by itself?
So because
It's not
this
rated.
cigar is not rated, I will rate this cigar.
Rate it.
Right? And I'm gonna rate this cigar as like an 86. Like it's not in the 90s by any stretch of the imagination, but it is a really nice smoking cigar, and like it totally leveled out. I think maybe when I was lighting it with the wind, it kind of got away from me at first. It's a great draw. It's a great flavor. It's a dark leaf and not a robust flavor.
So,
Like this is one that would go with anything. So I'll
is
go like
that
an
1
86.
out of 10, 8.6, or is it 86 on the
So
cigar scale?
on a cigar scale, it's probably like, or if you go 1 to 10, yeah, it's gonna be up in the 8s.
8.6.
Yeah. It's a nice cigar. I like it.
It's good.
I really do. Yeah.
It's not, it's very smokable. I don't feel like I have to spit. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's mild.
Yeah.
It's mild, but it's there. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
True story.
Sure.
Yeah. It's a really nice cigar.
Mhm.
So Don,
Yeah.
the truth comes down to you
It
when we're
must-
talking
must, right?
bourbon.
Because he always goes last.
Yeah, that's my spot. I think everybody rated the wheat higher than the Tritical who was on yesterday.
Totally.
Right? Which is interesting because the experts put this 5 points above where dry fries
Which
wheat
blows
was,
my mind.
which is pretty funny. And I mean,
Yeah.
it's surprising, but it's not surprising because a lot of those competitions are run. But I would tend to agree. But this bottle is the same but different. It's got different characteristics purely based on the grain that's being used. Because everything else seems to be constant. And I think Dry Fly probably holds a special place in my heart. It makes me think about Matt. It makes me think about Anthony and all the guys that come up to fishing camp. It makes me think about Fishmas. And it's just super easy to drink. If you have a party with 6, 12 people who want to drink whiskey, you should be seeking out this brand because these things are awesome. You should get a case of them,
Yeah, flat out.
I really like it for what it is, for the price point, the total package. I'm going to stick at an 8, same as yesterday.
Wow. You just blew my mind, Don.
Don, I really didn't think you were going to go that high. I was honestly thinking low 7s you were going to give it.
I just really like
Yeah,
it.
but you said
So how much of a boost did Cinnamon give it though?
A lot.
Did he? Okay. That makes a lot of sense then. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, but rating it, I can't compare it to 10-year-old Eagle Rare or 17-year-old Jacob's Well that we started this program
Yeah,
with.
right.
But thinking about it as a 3-year, I don't think there's a 3-year out there that stands up to it, and I don't
Right.
think there's a lot of 4 years that stand up to it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and don't get it twisted. There'll be a bottle sitting on my counter.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? With my whiskey collection. There will be, even though I gave it the 6.5. I will definitely drink it again.
You just got higher standards than the rest of us.
Oh, I do. I do. Yeah, you know that. I'm
You
kind
know-
of bougie, in case everybody at home is wondering. I'm a very bougie whiskey drinker.
Just so
Bourbon
everybody
man.
knows too. Like this Dry Fly, it's definitely on the back cast. If you look at this,
It is.
you can't see it there, but it's got the line coming around like this, right? And whenever Dawn is back casting, this is not how it looks like. But
No, 'cause-
he did catch a fish
I
today.
did.
Oh, he did. He caught a lot of trees yesterday, in case anybody was wondering.
on my
I wasn't
lure.
going there.
On my lure.
Cheers, guys.
I didn't
New
catch-
trail.
I didn't catch any trees on a.
Finish this up with the new
Oh, by the
trail.
way, the crisp is kind of awesome.
The
Not gonna
crisp
lie.
is good. That's a great review by all of us.
Cheers to the weekend.
Cheers, guys. Yo, listen, next
Love you all.
we have cooking at the campfire. And our boy Jake Kramer from Jake's
Welding Unlimited.
Welding Unlimited, Jake the Welder, built this thing 2 years ago for us. It's amazing, and we will cook some amazing shit for you guys. the style that I've seen all around the world, and it's always good. And we got some Wagyu we're gonna do up. We're gonna get the
Oh,
cast
can't
iron
wait.
out there and fucking do it whatever way you want.
We're gonna take some Japanese inspiration. We're gonna take some Chinese inspiration, Italian. What else do
Jake
we
the
have?
Welder inspiration,
Yeah, Jake's inspiration.
and MFA and Dawn to Dawn.
And U.S. Southern.
Salud.
Cheers.
Happy Fishmas.
Happy
Cheers.
fish.
Boom.